The video lecture is regarding deterministic and non-deterministic finite automata under the course Formal Language and Automata Theory. This is BNV Narsinraju, Assistant Professor, CSC Department, SRK Engineering College. The objectives of the video lecture are to understand and construct deterministic finite automata, to understand and construct non-deterministic finite automata. Deterministic finite automata is also called as DFA. The first type of automaton we study in detail are finite automata that are deterministic in operation. In common with all automata, a DFA has internal states, rules for transitions from one state to another, some input, and ways of making decisions. All of these are incorporated in the following definition. A DFA can be defined as 5 tuple. It is M of Q, sigma, delta, Q naught, F, where Q is the finite set of states, sigma is the finite set of input alphabets, it is also called as input symbols, Q naught is the initial state, and here Q naught is also belongs to the capital Q, that is one of finite set of states. F is the set of final states, and F is subset of capital Q, means it is some subset of finite set of states. Delta is a transition function, it is a mapping from Q cross sigma to capital Q. Deterministic finite automata operates in the following manner. At the initial time, it is assumed to be in the initial state Q naught, with its input mechanism on the leftmost symbol of the input string. During each move of the automata, the input mechanism advances one symbol to the right, so each move consumes one input symbol. When the end of the string is reached, the string is accepted if the automata is in one of its final states. Otherwise, the string is rejected. The input mechanism can move only from left to right and reads exactly one symbol on each step. The transition from one internal state to other are governed by the transition function delta. To visualize and represent finite automata, we use transition graphs, in which the vertices represent states and the edges represent transitions. The labels on the vertices are the names of the states, while the labels on the edges are current values of the input symbol. The initial state will be identified by an incoming unlabeled arrow, not originating at any vectors. Final states are drawn with a double circles. Here, the transition function is Q cross sigma to capital Q. This means on each and every state we need to apply each and every input symbol, and it will go to one of the states in Q. Consider the following DFA. A total it consists of two states, one is Q naught and another one is Q1. Here Q naught is the initial state because it has unlabeled arrow. It is not coming from any state. So like this will mark the initial state. And here the Q1 is the final state because it is rounded in double circles. So here like this, in this way, each and every state will be represented in circles. Here the directed edge, there is some symbol. This is called as some input. Means for Q naught 0, it goes to the state called Q1. Means if you apply 0 on state Q naught, it is reaching the state Q1. So we are going to see what are the states here. Here Q means finite set of states. These are Q naught and Q1. And here sigma means finite set of input symbols. Totally there are two input symbols in this figure. Those are 0 and 1. What is the initial state? Q naught is the initial state. And what are the final state? So F is nothing but Q1. So here the transition function is like this. Totally there are two states, Q naught and Q1. So if you apply Q naught 0, it is going to the state called Q1. If you apply Q naught 1, it is going to the state called Q naught. In the same way for Q1, if you apply Q1 0, it is going to the state called Q1. If you apply Q1 1, it is going to the state called Q0. This is the complete how deterministic automata will look. It is convenient to introduce the extended transition function delta cap from q cross sigma star to q. The second argument of a delta cap is a string rather than a single symbol, and its value gives the state the automata will be in after reading that string. Formally, we can define delta cap recursively as follow. Delta cap of q comma epsilon is equal to q. Here epsilon represents the empty string. Delta cap of q comma wa is equal to delta cap of q comma w comma a. Here the q represents some state and w represents some input string and a represents a single input symbol. String acceptance. A string x is said to be accepted by finite automata m if delta of q comma x is equal to p for some p in f. Here p means nothing but one of the final states in f. For example, consider the finite automata and test whether the string 1010 is accepted or not. So I am considering the following finite automata and I am going to apply the string 1010 and I will check whether it is accepted or not. So here we use the function called delta cap because generally in DFA the function delta is defined as q cross sigma to q, but the delta cap function is defined as q cross sigma star to q. So here in regular delta, we are going to apply single input symbol. In delta cap, we are applying a string that is sigma star, a string formed by using the symbols in sigma. So in finite automata, delta and delta cap are almost equal. So we can write the function delta of q naught comma wa is equal to delta of q comma w comma a, instead of writing it as delta cap of q comma w comma a. So by using this formula, we are going to apply the input string 1010. So initial state is q naught. So it looks like simply q comma w means an input string and a means a single input symbol. So it looks like delta of q comma wa. So it can be represented as delta of q naught comma 101 comma a. Again, if you take this part, it is like q and this is w and this is a. Again, it's look like the inner part will look like q naught comma some wa. So again, you can write the function delta of q comma w comma a. So now it is so again here it looks like delta of q comma wa. Again, we can write it as so now we are going to see what is delta of q1 comma 1. That is nothing but q1 comma 1 is simply q naught. So in this place, delta of q1 comma 1, we can write q naught. And here again, delta of q naught comma 0. Q naught comma 0 is q1. So we can write it as so now delta of q1 comma 1. q1 comma 1 is again q naught. So what is delta of q naught comma 0? Nothing but q1. Yeah, here the q1 belongs to the final state. So we can say the string is accepted in the finite automata. Simply, if the string reaches the final state, we'll call it as string is accepted, otherwise it is rejected. Similarly, the above finite automata accepts different strings like 00, 000, 10, 110, so on. The set of all these strings is called language of that finite automata. So here the language of the finite automata is nothing but L of m is equal to W such that W belongs to sigma star and W ends with 0. Means the finite similarly the finite automata Similarly, the finite automata accepts all the string 00, 000, 10, 110, 110, and so on. The set of all these strings is called as language of the finite automata. Here the language of the finite automata is L of m is equal to W such W belongs to sigma star W ends with 0. Means it is accepting the strings ending with 0. Means the language is strings ending with 0. So you can check that whether any string ends with 0, the finite automata will reach the final state. Now we are going to design the finite automata. So first example is design a DFA that accepts all the strings which ends with 00. Here the language L is equal to some 00, or it can be some 000, or it can be some 100, or it can be some 0100, and so on. So in all these strings, it is having some 00 as ending. So the minimum length of the string here is only 2. Means we are going to design the finite automata for this minimum length string, that is 00. That is 00. First we are going to design for 00. First design the finite automata for that 00. The initial state here we are considering is Q naught. Q naught is the initial state. So not only that, every string in finite automata will start from the initial state. So for Q naught, if you apply 0, it reaches the state called Q1. And from Q1, for the next 0, it goes to the state Q2, which is the final state. In DFA, each and every state contains every input symbol. For Q naught, 0 has been applied but not 1. So Q naught is the initial state. So for input 1, it is mapped to a state called Q naught because after 1, after 1, if it gets some 00, we need to accept the string. In the same way, for Q1, 0 has been applied but not 1. To reach the state Q1, initially the string should contain at least 1 0. Now, design for input 1 to the state Q1. That is, the string will be 0 1. So, it is mapped to a state Q naught. It is mapped to a state Q naught because if the further string is 00, we need to accept that string. Coming to the state Q2, for Q2, both 0 and 1 are not designed. To reach the state Q2, initially the string should contain at least 2 zeros. Now, if we again get some 0, then what happens? Again, it is ending with 0. So, after 00, any number of 0, the string will end with 00 only. So, simply map it to the state Q2 because if any number of 0, it will accept that string. So, if it is 1, means if you need to reach the state Q2, you need to get some 2 zeros. After that one. So again we are going to map this one to the state Q naught because the further string is a 00, we need to accept that string. So now for each and every state, each and every input symbol was been designed, and this is the finite automata, deterministic finite automata for the language ending with 00s. The next problem. Design a DFA that accepts every binary string divisible by 3. Any number divisible by 3 gets remainder either 0, 1 or 2. For every remainder consists a single state. Simply consider for 0 a state called Q0, and for remainder 1 consider a state called Q1, and for remainder 2 consider a state called Q2. Simply divide every number by 3 and go to the state of the remainder number. Here the Q0 is both the initial state and the final state also. So for input 0, that is in binary representation also it is 0. If you divide 0 by 3, then the output is 0. Automatically you need to go for the state called Q0. Next, for the number 1, the binary representation of the number 1 is also 1. So now if you divide 1 by 3, the remainder will be 1. Simply go to the state Q1. Now coming to the next symbol, number 2, that is simply the binary is represented as 1 0. So for 1 0, for single one we are reaching the state Q1, for next 0. So if you divide 2 by 3, the remainder will be 2. Simply reach the state Q2 for 1 0. Next take the number 3. It is represented as double 1. So if you divide 3 by 3, the remainder will be 0. So for single one, it is reaching Q1. For next one, you need to reach the state Q0 because the remainder is 0. And consider the next number 4, 1 double 0. Simply divide 4 by 3. The remainder is 1. Means for 1 double 0, we need to reach the state Q1. For a first single one, it is going to state Q1, and next one, it is going to reach the state Q2, and for the next 0, it needs to reach the state Q1. And next input symbol 5. It is represented as 101 in binary. Now divide 5 by 3. The remainder is 2. Means for 101, we need to reach the state Q2. So for single one, it has reached Q1, and next 0, it has reached Q2, and for next one, it need to reach the state Q2. So now if you look at the finite automata for each and every state, the each and every input symbol has been applied, and this is the finite automata for input string divisible by 3. Properties of transition functions. Delta of q comma epsilon is equal to q. Generally, finite automata cannot change its states with epsilon input. For all strings w, input symbol a, delta of q comma aw is equal to delta of q comma a comma w, and delta of q comma w is equal to delta of q comma w comma a. Non-deterministic finite automata. Non-deterministic means a choice of moves for an automata. Rather than prescribing a unique move in each situation, we will allow a set of possible moves. Formally, we achieve this by defining transition function so that its range is a set of all possible states. NFA can be defined as phi tuple, that is M of Q comma sigma comma Q naught comma F, where Q is finite set of state, sigma is finite set of input alphabets, and Q is the initial state, and Q naught belongs to the capital Q. F is the set of final states, and it is F is subset of capital Q. Delta is a transition function, and it is a mapping from Q cross sigma to 2 power Q. So in NFA, it is q cross sigma to 2 power q, but in DFA it is q cross sigma to q. Here, for each and every state and for each and every symbol, input symbol is applied and it will go to a single state, but here it can go to 2 power q states. Note that there are three major differences between this definition and the definition of DFA. In NFA, the range of delta is in the power set 2 power q, so that its value is not a single element of Q, but a subset of it. This subset defines the set of all possible states that can be reached by the transition. If, for instance, the current state is Q1, the input symbol A is read, and delta of Q1 comma A is equal to Q1 comma Q0 comma Q2. Then either Q0 or Q2 could be the next state of NFA. Finally, in an NFA, the set delta of Qi comma A may be empty, meaning that there is no transition defined for some specific situations. Like DFAs, NFAs, acceptors can be presented by transition graphs. The string is accepted by an NFA if there is some sequence of possible moves that will put the machine in a final state at the ending of the string. The string is rejected only if there is no possible sequence of moves by which a final state can be reached. A variation of finite automata which allows 0 or 1 or more transition from a state on the same input symbol. This new model is called a non-deterministic finite automata. Consider this non-deterministic finite automata. Here the Q have uh, in the states Q have Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. Here the input symbol is 0 and 1. Initial state is Q0 and the final states are Q2 and Q4. So if you observe here, the Q0 has applied 0, it going to the two states, one is Q0 and Q3. In the transition table, you have represented it clearly. Yet the total states are Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. So if you apply Q0 0, it is going to both the states Q0 and Q3. If you apply 1, it is going to Q0 and Q1. In the same way, if you apply Q1 0, so what? There is no transition for Q1 0. So we have represented as null set, that is 5. And if you apply Q1 1, that is Q2. In the same way, Q2 0, it is Q2, and Q2 1, it is Q2, Q3 0, it is Q4, and Q3 1, it is 5, Q4 0 is Q4, and Q4 1 is Q4. String acceptance in an affair. In an affair, the string may have many paths. If at least one path terminates at final state, then the string is said to be accepted. Example: test whether the string 01001 is accepted or not in the above NFA. So the initial state in the above NFA is Q0. Simply, if you apply 0, it is going to two states. One it is Q0 and another one it is Q3. Now apply the 1 for the Q0 and Q3. So the Q3 one is not there. So now you're going to apply it for Q0. So if you apply Q0 1, it is going to the state called Q0 and Q1. Now we need to apply the next input symbol to the both the states Q0 and Q1. For Q1, 0 it is not there. So we need going to apply 0 for Q0. That is again Q0 and Q3. Now we are going to apply the next input symbol 0 for both Q0 and Q3. So coming to here, for Q0, if you apply 0, it is Q0 and Q3. And if you Q3 apply 0, it is going to the state Q4. Now you apply the next input symbol 1 for Q0, Q3 and Q4. So if you apply 1 for Q0, it is going to the state called Q0 and another state called Q1. If you apply 1 for Q3, there is no transition. And if you apply 1 for Q4, it is going for state called Q4. So finally, we got the three states. One is Q4, another one is Q1, and another one is Q0. See, the path is 0, 1, 0, 1. There is one path like this, another path is 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, and another path is 0 1 double 0. So there are three paths here. One has stopped at Q4, another one has stopped at Q1, another one has stopped at Q0. So if one of these states are final, then we can call this string as accepted. Yes, Q4 is final, but here Q1 is not final and Q0 is also not final. So if any one of the paths stops at the final state, then the string can be called as accepted. So the string 0 1 double 0 1 is accepted. If none of the paths has reached the final state, then we will call it as not accepted. We are going to design an NFA now. So construct an NFA for a language L is equal to W contains a substring WA such that W belongs to A comma. Here the input symbols are A and B. So we need to accept if the string contains WA. So the language will be L is equal to WA, WAB, BWA, WABB, so on. Like this the language will be. So the minimum length of the string is 2 and the string will be nothing but double A. Now we are going to design the NFA for double A. For the first input symbol, we are going to take the initial state here Q0, and the first A it is going to reach the state called Q1, and for the next A it is reaching the state called Q2, which is the final state. Initially, the can string when begin with either A or B. So we are marking Q0 A comma B to the Q0 because whatever the string may be, A or B, it will be revolved here on. So next, coming to that, if we get some two consecutive A's followed by any symbol, we need to accept that string. And suppose if we get some B and followed by some double A, and if you get some A, B, A, anything, whatever it may be, you need to accept that string. Means after getting two conjugate A's, any number of A's and B's, you need to accept the string. So after Q2, if you get some any number of A's and B's, we need to accept the string. So we have kept Q2 A comma B as Q2. So this is the design of NFA. So summary. In DFA, for input character, the machine goes to one state only. A transition function is defined on every state for every input symbol. In DFA, null move is not allowed and can contain multiple final states. NFA is like DFA, but it has ability to transmit to 0 or more number of states for an input symbol. Thank you.